I want your seed. Let's have a showdown. After being kicked out by my contract wife, who would thought a girl from a mafia family would come knocking? Her blunt words left me stunned like a statue. Are you sure you've got the right guy? We don't even know each other. Let me introduce myself a bit. My name is Serenity Bamboo. Now we're acquainted. I drew a sharp breath as I looked at Serenity Bamboo, chairwoman of the Bamboo Group, a legend in the business world. Not to mention rumors of her being a mafia princess, truly the richest female billionaire in the country. Looking at my expression, Serenity Bamboo's face remained unchanged. She said she wanted to bear my child, or rather she needed my seed. I swallowed hard. Those words were fierce as a tiger. She said her body made it hard to conceive. Your test sample from the hospital today matches mine. That's why I sought you out. It suddenly dawned on me. So that's how it is. I had gone today to do artificial insemination with my contract wife, Sophie. Who knew it would lead to this? Her secretary promptly handed me a contract. We want to buy your seed. The entire process will be strictly confidential. Rest assured it won't cause you any trouble. The contract's terms made my head spin. One child 30 million. Twins 60 million. Boy-girl twins 100 million. Isn't this a real-life version of more kids, more blessings? If I got her pregnant with 8 kids, wouldn't I strike it rich overnight? But I hesitated for half a day and still shook my head in apology. I can't sign this contract. Serenity Bamboo, always cold as ice, finally furrowed her brow. Is the money too little? Name your price. The issue wasn't about money. Her conditions were truly tempting, but I don't want to have a child with a woman I feel nothing for. So she should just go. Serenity Bamboo's eyes darkened, but she didn't use her status to pressure me. She only handed me a business card, saying to contact her if I changed my mind. Then she left with her entourage. As the car door closed, her secretary sneered with disdain. Miss Bamboo, this Mark song is too ungrateful. Should we use stronger measures? Serenity Bamboo leaned back wearily in her seat, her tone calm and composed. Don't worry, I'll agree eventually. At the same time, in the Sophie family's villa, Sophie stepped into my bedroom, looking at this place, where the man who'd been by her side for 5 years once lived. Complex emotions surged in her heart. Thinking back 2 years ago, her fiancé Victor Young suddenly called off their engagement, fleeing abroad to settle down. The Sophie family, to cover up the scandal, and fearing their daughter would be mocked, found Mark Song, who bore some resemblance to Victor Young, and signed a marriage contract. They were certain I'd agree. After all, my mother was gravely ill back then, desperately needing money for treatment. And so we muddled through 5 years together. But fate loves to play tricks. 5 years later, Victor Young returned. When Sophie learned the truth about the broken engagement, she decisively cast Mark Song aside. Thinking of this, a pang of guilt rose in her heart. Just then, she suddenly noticed on my bed a pair of used black stockings, which definitely weren't hers. The faint guilt she felt was instantly swallowed by raging flames. Who knew you were just like those filthy men out there? You betrayed me long ago and dared to bring another woman to my bed. Furious beyond measure, she called me immediately. Mark Song, you disgust me. No wonder you agreed to the divorce so quickly. You've already found someone new. Her words left me utterly confused. What nonsense are you talking about? I don't understand a thing. Sophie's voice was cold as ice. To think you're still pretending at this point. Looks like divorcing you was the right call. What does Victor Young lack compared to you? Lucky I never loved you. Stay far away from now on. Her heartless words stabbed my heart like a knife. Fine, I don't want to see you again either. I hung up first. But no sooner had I hung up than the phone rang again. It was my best friend LUONG calling. Mark, quick, help me check. Did I leave a pair of black stockings at your place? I forgot them this afternoon while shooting with a model at your house. Thinking of Sophie's attitude just now, I had no desire to return to the Sophie family's house. I could only apologize. Sorry, brother. I probably can't get them back. LUONG was stunned and immediately panicked. Buddy, those stockings are valuable. I need them for the next shoot. You've got to figure something out. Hearing him say that, I could only sigh helplessly ill try. Thinking about having to go to the Sophie family's house tomorrow, I felt unbearably irritated. Being scolded by Sophie for no reason, I really didn't want to go back. The next day, I stubbornly stepped into the Sophie family's villa. As I reached the garden, I saw a man who looked 5 or 6 parts like me. That must be Victor Young. He saw me too, and approached with a gleeful theatrical expression. What's this out of money already? Here to demand breakup fees, huh? I frowned. You've got it wrong. I'm not here for money. Not money, then you want to get back together. A broke novelist like you, how much money do you even have? Can you support Sophie? I furrowed my brow. I'm not as rich as you, but every penny I spend I earned myself. I'm proud of that. A leech like you living off your parents isn't fit to carry my shoes. What right do you have to act so smug? My words left Victor Young seething, veins bulging, but he couldn't retort a single word, because everything I said was true. Furious to the point of madness, he pulled a diamond ring from his pocket and threw it at me. I stared at the ring in shock. Wasn't this the ring I saved half a year's salary to buy for Sophie? How did it end up in his hands? Seeing my expression, Victor Young was smug beyond measure. This is the gift you gave Sophie. Didn't anyone teach you? Diamonds under a carrot are just trash in our eyes. I suppressed the fire in my chest, squinting at him. Give me back the ring. Victor Young clearly enjoyed my reaction. He snorted coldly, turned and flung the ring away. Trash belongs in the garbage. I didn't bother arguing with him and turned to chase the direction the ring flew. That ring might not be worth much, but to me it held great meaning. It was a piece of my memory and a fragment of my true feelings. As I bent down to search for the ring, a shadow loomed over me. Before I could react, Victor Young stomped hard on my hand. A sharp pain shot through me. The rage in my heart was fully ignited by him. I stood up abruptly, stepped forward quickly, grabbed his arm, threw him over my shoulder, and slammed him to the ground. Victor Young hadn't expected me to fight back. Caught off guard, he flew out with fear in his eyes, crashing heavily to the ground. This pampered rich kid had never faced such anger. He struggled to his feet, wincing, pointing at me, face full of fury. Do you know who I am? You dare lay a hand on me? Before he could finish his nonsense, I grabbed a handful of dirt and shoved it in his mouth. As he retched, I didn't spare him another glance, turned to the bushes, picked up the ring, and left the Sophie family's house without looking back. I'd only taken a few steps when a clap of thunder roared, and a downpour came crashing down. I ran like mad, trying to find shelter from the rain, but the surroundings were empty. Not a single awning in sight. The freezing rainwater soaked me through. I felt nothing, because my heart was colder than the rain. I stopped running, stood motionless in the middle of the road, letting the heavy rain wash over me. Who could I blame for this? It was my own foolishness, holding onto a piece of true love, given to someone who didn't deserve it. The rain grew heavier, blurring my vision. Water slid down my face. Impossible to tell if it was rain or tears. Suddenly, a vague figure approached me. When I came to my senses, an umbrella appeared above my head, like a blooming flower. I looked up. Before me was a breathtaking figure. That graceful silhouette, in the misty rain, was like a stunning ink painting. Serenity Bamboo saw my dazed expression. Her heart trembled slightly. At that moment, I was like a wounded beast, licking my wounds alone in the storm. I agreed to your offer. After saying those 3 words, my body could no longer hold up. I collapsed straight down. A flash of surprise crossed Serenity Bamboo's face. She even doubted if she'd misheard, but she quickly stepped forward, catching me as I was about to hit the ground. Meanwhile, at the Sophie family's villa, Sophie stayed up all night, yawning as she came downstairs. The first night I was gone, she couldn't sleep. Before, when she couldn't sleep, I was always the one comforting her. But now her heart was in turmoil. As Sophie came downstairs, she saw Victor Young icing his face. She stepped forward in surprise. What happened to you? A flicker of guilt passed through Victor Young's eyes. Then he immediately feigned pity. It's nothing. I just fell by accident. Don't blame Mark Song, okay? Sophie frowned. Mark Song was here. What does this have to do with him? Victor Young sighed. I just told him not to bother us anymore. Maybe I spoke to harshly. He hit me right away, but it's fine. I understand. Hearing this, Sophie seemed to realize something. Her eyes lit up. He wants to get back with me. That's why he hit you. Seeing Sophie's reaction, Victor Young froze. Why isn't she angry? She even seems happy. Victor Young cleared his throat. Sophie, is he more important than me? You're not going to look for him, are you? If explained to you, for 5 years I was abroad recovering. I know he was with you those 5 years. He's your family now. If you don't need me anymore, just say the word and I'll leave. After all, I don't know how long I have left to live. Seeing tears in Victor Yang's eyes, Sophie hurriedly stepped forward to comfort him. I'm comforting him, Victor Yang, don't overthink it. The doctor said you can't get too emotional, or your condition will worsen. Victor Yang was secretly thrilled, but his face still feigned deep sorrow. Good then. I thought you'd fallen for a thief. Sophie frowned. A thief? What do you mean? You don't know yet. He stole your diamond ring. What? Sophie was shocked by Victor Yang's words. She quickly looked at her middle finger, only then realizing the diamond ring was truly gone. It was Mark Song. I saw him steal your ring with my own eyes. Who knows if he sold it for money, or gave it to some girl out there. Hearing these words, Sophie bit her lips so hard it nearly bled. She stared toward the villa's gate, her voice icy cold. I never thought he was that kind of person. I'll never forgive him. At that moment I came to, gradually looking around. Why was I in a hospital near a window not far away? Serenity Bamboo turned around, softly saying, "You're awake." I nodded, only then recalling that before I passed out, I saw that graceful figure. It was her. I quickly said, thank you for taking me to the hospital." Serenity Bamboo ignored my thanks and asked directly, "Do the words you said before fainting still stand?" I nodded without hesitation. Of course they do. I took the contract from her hand and decisively signed my name. Whenever you need me, I'm ready. Even today works. Serenity Bamboo smiled. Don't worry. I'm not that desperate. Wait until you've recovered, then we'll talk. 3 days later, Serenity Bamboo and I went to the hospital again, taking our samples one by one and planting them in her field. When everything was done, I looked at Serenity Bamboo. If it succeeds, please let me know right away. As a father, I have the right to know. Serenity Bamboo gently rubbed her stomach, a warm smile spreading across her face. Of course, that's your right. Seeing her like this, I grew even more puzzled. Such a young, beautiful CEO. Why was she in such a hurry to have a child? With her status, if she wanted to marry, her suitors could probably line up from the southern heavenly gate to the eastern sea. Leaving the hospital, my days passed fully and calmly. When not writing, I cooked, recording bits of my life. That day, returning from the vegetable market, as I passed a flower shop, I stopped as if possessed and walked inside, finally coming out with a potted cactus. It was Valentine's Day. In the luxurious office on the top floor of the Bamboo Group, the secretary was bustling about. The charm of their CEO was truly unmatched. Just look at this room full of roses. The secretary wiped sweat looking at Serenity Bamboo, who was buried in work, smiling wryly. Boss, what do we do with all this? Serenity Bamboo didn't even look up as usual. Sell it all. The secretary sighed helplessly, instructing people to keep moving things out. But when she saw a patch of green, she couldn't help but laugh. Mark Song is such a straight guy. First time I've seen someone give a cactus for Valentine's. Hearing this, Serenity Bamboo paused her work. She looked up puzzled. He sent it. The secretary nodded yes. He brought it to the company himself. So unromantic. No wonder his wife wanted a divorce. I'll toss it out now. As she spoke, the secretary picked up the cactus to leave. At that moment, a cold voice rang out, "Put it down. Who gave you permission to act on your own?" The secretary froze in her tracks. Her heart sank. Oh no. The boss is angry. She quickly turned back, apologizing, placing it on the windowsill. Throw out the rest of that trash. Following Serenity Bamboo's orders, the secretary didn't dare delay, quickly complying, but her heart was in turmoil. The boss accepted a man's gift for the first time, and it's just an ordinary cactus. Truly never tried to guess the boss mind. That evening I was at home typing furiously, when the doorbell suddenly rang. Seeing Serenity Bamboo at the door, I was completely stunned. "What are you doing here?" Serenity Bamboo glanced at me lightly. "Are you going to make me stand outside forever?" I immediately felt flattered. Quickly stepping aside, "Come in." Serenity Bamboo walked in, sat down, and got straight to the point. "Why did you give me a cactus?" Before I could answer, she added, "Are you implying I'm all thorns, cold and unapproachable?" Her words left me dumbfounded. Of course not. The cactus is the king of plants. It's so beneficial in your office. Plus you like it. Serenity Bamboo blurted out unexpectedly, nearly making me bite my tongue. Are girls this bold these days? How am I supposed to respond to that? Why would you misunderstand it like that? Serenity Bamboo stared at me. Today's Valentine's Day. I glanced at my phone in surprise. It really was Valentine's Day. I completely forgot. But don't worry. I won't like anyone or fall in love. Serenity Bamboo just hummed softly, her gaze falling on the notebook on the coffee table. The computer was still on. Nothing much, just writing a few novels. Serenity Bamboo hummed again, showing interest. "What's the book called? What's the story?" I scratched my head awkwardly. "A flopped book. A cliché domineering CEO falling for a poor guy." Serenity Bamboo gave me a meaningful look. "Don't mind me. Keep writing." I nodded and focused on typing, but I hadn't written long before stopping to rub my hands. No choice. An old injury, my wrists ached unbearably. Soon after, Serenity Bamboo stood up. "Do what you need to, I'm leaving." I quickly escorted her downstairs, then ran back to keep typing. As she got in the car, Serenity Bamboo instructed her secretary, "Check with the group's hospital. See if there's anything for wrist pain relief. Buy it and send it here." The secretary was full of question marks, but didn't dare ask a word, immediately arranging it. "Also contact Sentence Hero Company right away. Say I like a novel and want to discuss promotional collaboration." Late that night, as I typed the final word, over 30 official hospital notifications stunned me. After we completed the artificial insemination at the hospital, I discovered my novel had been pushed to the must-read list on the homepage. My heart surged with excitement. I immediately called Serenity Bamboo. "Did you help get my book recommended?" Her voice was calm. "Does it matter? I just helped it get seen by more people. Whether it deserves that traffic is up to you." Her response left me speechless. I took a deep breath, squeezing out two words, "Thank you." Serenity Bamboo paused on the other end. "Not helping you, but helping my child. They need an outstanding father. No matter what, I'll do my very best." Hanging up, I was filled with energy. From then on, I was like a donkey in a production team. If I didn't write myself to death, I'd write until I did. As I opened my laptop ready to churn out 100,000 words, a sharp pain shot through my wrist, making me clench my fist instinctively. Just then, the doorbell rang. So late. Who could it be? At the door was Serenity Bamboo's driver, respectfully holding a large package. "Mr. Mark, sorry to disturb your rest. This is what the lady asked me to deliver." I brought the package inside, curiously opening each item. My goodness, medicine for my wrist, protective gear, and ergonomic keyboards filled my bed. I never expected Serenity Bamboo to be so thoughtful. She must have seen me rubbing my wrist to buy all these things. I quickly grabbed my phone and texted her. "Thank you, you went to such expense again." She replied instantly, "A return gift." I burst out laughing. I only gave a cactus and got a pile of treasures in return. What a deal! The next day, after staying up all night, I collapsed. The phone rang at the worst time. I struggled to get up. Seeing the caller ID, my heart skipped half a beat. It was Sophie's mother. As soon as I answered, her panicked voice came through. "Little son, come quick. Something big happened." At that moment in the Sophie family's villa, the old man was pointing at Sophie's nose, scolding. Are you blinded by greed? Little Song was so good and you didn't want him. Instead, you turned to that scum Victor Young. Sophie, unfazed, plopped onto the sofa. Her face full of disdain. Mark Song was good to me, but that was just gratitude. You can't expect me to live my whole life with a block of wood, just for some kindness. Sophie's father was so angry he trembled. How can you forget this? Back then, when that scum left, you were ready to die for him. If Little Song hadn't stayed by your side day and night, you wouldn't be alive. If you don't chase after Little Song and bring him back, don't call us your parents. Who wants to be your daughter? Not only do I want to date Victor Young, I want to marry him and have his kids. A loud slap rang out. Sophie's father, furious, slapped her hard across the face. Sophie clutched her burning cheek, staring at her father in disbelief. Dad, you hit me for a gigolo. She jumped up, yelling in her parents' faces. Let me tell you, I married Mark Song just to get back at Victor Young. He's a broke, unromantic nobody. I'm sick of him. I had to divorce him. So what? Sophie panted, ready to keep cursing, but she noticed her parents staring in horror behind her. Little Song heard all this. Sophie's scalp went numb. She whipped around. I stood alone at the door, forcing a smile uglier than crying. Don't worry, I won't cling to you. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. meet me at the Civil Affairs Bureau. Watching my back as I turned to leave, Sophie's heart tightened, as if something vital had just shattered. She chased after me, shouting, Mark Song, you don't want me anymore. Those words were just said in anger. I didn't mean them. I gave a bitter smile, cutting her off. It's fine. It's meaningless now. See you tomorrow. With that, I walked out of the villa without hesitation. Hearing my words, Sophie's heart felt stabbed. So in your heart, I mean nothing anymore. I stepped out of the Sophie family's gate, seeing a graceful figure leaning against a luxury car, frowning slightly as she looked at me. I opened the car door and sat in the passenger seat, saying lightly, let's go. Serenity Bamboo didn't ask anything, nodded and started the car. But as the car moved a short distance, heart-wrenching sobs came from behind. Serenity Bamboo turned to ask, should we stop? I sighed, no need to care. Speed up. At that moment, in front of the Sophie family's villa, Sophie stared blankly at the car, disappearing into the dust. The woman who picked up Mark Song must be someone great. He really betrayed me long ago. Mark Song, you liar. I'll never forgive you. Sitting in the car, looking at the calm Serenity Bamboo beside me, I said softly, thank you for today. Serenity Bamboo didn't look over, her voice cold. If you're short on money, come work at my place. We're never short of odd jobs. I couldn't help but laugh. Are you trying to comfort me in a different way? Serenity Bamboo's icy face suddenly flushed, stiffly saying, you're overthinking. Seeing her somewhat adorable reaction, strangely enough, my heart no longer felt pain. The next morning, I arrived early at the Civil Affairs Bureau, my mind filled with memories of 5 years ago, registering with Sophie. Just then, a mocking voice came from behind. Here so early. Can't wait any longer, huh? I didn't bother guessing Sophie's mood. Just said lightly, let's go in, and walked into the hall myself. Sophie's angry voice rang out behind me. Fine, let's go. You think I care about sharing a household registry with you? Half an hour later, Sophie gripped the divorce certificate with its official stamp, staring at me. As you wished. 5 years of revenge are over. From now on, we're done. With that, she turned and left. Watching her resolute back, I felt an indescribable pang in my heart, dragging my exhausted body down the bureau steps. Suddenly, a shadow fell over me. Congratulations, you're free. I looked up to see a familiar face and froze. Why are you here? Serenity Bamboo raised an eyebrow. To see with my own eyes that the father of my child isn't a married man. That's important, right? I took a deep breath, assuring her, don't worry. I'll handle everything well and won't cause you any trouble. Serenity Bamboo didn't respond immediately, but winked playfully. Actually, I can read fortunes. I see the future. One day she'll regret this. I gave a bitter smile. I'm fine. She didn't do anything wrong. It was just a choice. If anyone's to blame, it's me for truly falling for her. Serenity Bamboo tilted her head. If falling in love is wrong, then wouldn't the whole world be full of sinners? Heaven gave you the right to love. How could that be called a mistake? I looked at her with deep gratitude. Thank you truly for coming to comfort me now. Serenity Bamboo lowered her head, unconsciously touching her stomach. I'm not helping you. If I'm really pregnant, I don't want my child to be born to a father who can't move forward. Hearing this, I froze, then gave a helpless smile. Don't worry. I'm not so blindly in love that I'd live or die for this feeling. Serenity Bamboo lifted her gaze to me. Come with me somewhere. 20 minutes later, I found myself with Serenity Bamboo, sitting in a 5-star restaurant. She turned to the waiter. Give him white truffles. Don't stop until he's satisfied. I frowned. Are you trying to bankrupt me? Serenity Bamboo didn't even glance over, lifting her tall glass. What's that? You think I can't afford a meal? As the glass neared her lips, I quickly grabbed her hand. Are you crazy? Drinking while preparing to conceive isn't good for your health. Serenity Bamboo's gaze softly lingered on my hand, gripping her wrist. I flinched, letting go. Sorry. Her lips curved into a meaningful smile. Who said this is wine? It's clearly grape juice. At the same time, Sophie stormed back home, throwing the divorce certificate at her father. I told you I was done with him. Sophie's father's face turned red with rage. Pointing at Sophie, he bellowed, ungrateful daughter. Are you trying to drive me to my grave? Sophie's mother, full of disappointment, said, Fi, you went too far today. You'll definitely regret this later. Sophie snorted coldly in this old. This was the most right thing I've done. I'll never regret it. I'm thrilled to finally live my own life. With that, she slammed her bedroom door shut. Looking at their daughter's door, Sophie's father gritted his teeth in fury. What a pity for little Song. All these years sacrificing so much for her. Sophie's mother's eyes flickered with an idea. Don't rush to anger, dear. They're divorced, but can't they reconcile? With that, she whispered her little plan to Sophie's father. He listened and instantly perked up. You're brilliant, my wife. This might just help them make up. In her room, Sophie had just sat down when her stomach suddenly cramped. She clutched her abdomen, collapsing onto the bed, instinctively reaching to call someone. But seeing the name in her contacts, her whole body froze. Her mind in chaos. Why call Mark Song? Yet she didn't hang up, waiting nervously for me to answer. Soon the call connected. A spark of hope lit up Sophie's eyes. He still cares about me. But fearing shed seemed to eager, and I'd look down on her. She deliberately used a harsh tone. I have menstrual cramps. Where's the medicine? You didn't even say a word before leaving, making me search everywhere. To her surprise, a woman's cold laugh came from the other end. So grown up yet acting like a child, bothering others with such trivial matters. In an instant, the light in Sophie's eyes dimmed. She trembled, screaming, who are you? Where's Mark Song? Tell him to answer. The voice on the other end was languid. Haze in the bathroom. Whether he answers or not, I'd have to ask him. By the way, you're the ex-wife, still clinging like this. Aren't you afraid your boyfriend will get jealous? Those words pierced Sophie's heart like needles. That's right. I'm Victor Yang's girlfriend now. What am I doing? Humiliating myself. Before Sophie could think further, a mocking laugh came from the other end. Then the call was disconnected. At that moment, Sophie realized her heart was in turmoil. Her stomach pain grew even worse. She couldn't believe the man who'd been by her side for 5 years could abandon her so easily. On my side, I heard Serenity Bamboo casually explained. Your ex-wife called. It was noisy, so I answered for you. You don't mind, do you? I froze, then shook my head. It's fine. Let's eat. Hearing my response, Serenity Bamboo's red lips curved into a slight smile. She was very pleased with my reaction. The next day, as soon as Victor Yang heard Sophie was divorced, he rushed to the Sophie family's house, wanting to take Sophie to celebrate. But as Sophie sat down, the butler called, young miss, we misunderstood Mark Song. The black stockings issue is clear now. Sophie's heart raced. Tell me, what's the deal? Mark Song's friend came to the house, said he was picking up the black stockings. Turns out he borrowed Mark Song's room for a photo shoot. The stockings were props for a model, left behind by mistake. causing a huge misunderstanding. Hearing the butler, Sophie froze. So that's how it was. Why didn't Mark Song explain clearly back then? The butler sighed, young miss. How Mark Song treated you these 5 years. We servants saw it clearest. Every time you were unwell, he wouldn't let us interfere, insisting on caring for you himself. Once when he had a high fever, he still pushed through to take care of you, saying if he fell ill no one would truly care for you. Each word from the butler was like a knife, stabbing deep into Sophie's heart. She felt she couldn't breathe, her whole body trembling, but in utter panic she stood up. Suddenly in her mind, the image of the woman answering the phone flashed. Fear surged, making her jump up, her heart in chaos. That woman must be a colleague or friend of his. Mark Song loved me so much. How could he not want me right? I must be right. Seeing Sophie so distraught, Victor Young across from her was full of suspicion. Wi-Fi. What's wrong? Is the food here not to your taste? Sophie didn't hear a word he said, her mind in disarray. No way. I have to see Mark Song right now. Immediately, right now. With that she turned and ran out. Victor Young, I have something urgent. You go back first. Unexpectedly, Victor Young grabbed her, yelling in accusation. You're not going to find that broke Mark Song, are you? Sophie struggled twice but couldn't break free. She could only nod, admitting, I need to ask him something. Victor Young snorted coldly. What's a broke guy like him worth meeting? Fi-Fi, I don't have much time left. You promised to stay with me until the end. Are you going back on your word? Sophie froze, stunned, only then remembering that promise. Looking at Victor Young with guilt, I'm sorry. I just wanted to clear things up. I overlooked your feelings. Victor Young was secretly thrilled. She was still so easy to fool after all these years. But his face feigned pity. Seeing his expression, Sophie sat back down and started eating. When I returned to my rented apartment, I saw the hallway piled with my belongings. The landlady was cleaning inside. I was completely stunned, rushing forward to ask landlady, what's going on here? The landlady turned, seeing me. Oh, little Song, you're back. It's like this. My son's coming back from abroad soon. This place was meant for his wedding house. I can't keep renting it to you. I panicked instantly, but we clearly signed a 1-year contract. How can you just say no and kick me out? And you didn't even give notice. You threw all my stuff out. It's pouring outside. Where am I supposed to find a place now? The landlady gave an awkward smile full of embarrassment. This was my mistake, but I had no choice. It came up so suddenly. I've refunded your rent. There are plenty of houses around. You'll find one easily. The landlady felt bitter inside. Earlier, a big shot had come, offering triple the price to rent this house, demanding it be vacated immediately. How could she pass up such a heaven-sent opportunity? She had to wrong the kid. Hearing her words, my heart went cold. Easier said than done. It's peak rental season now, and it's pouring outside. What am I supposed to do? The rain came down in torrents. I carried my belongings, trudging to the complex's gate. Guess I'll have to find a hotel for tonight. Figure it out tomorrow. The freezing rainwater splashed over me. I shivered uncontrollably as I reached for my phone to call a ride. Suddenly, a Porsche sped by, splashing mud all over me. The Porsche stopped. The window rolled down. It was Victor Yang's face, his eyes full of smugness, his lips curled in a mocking sneer. I was instantly furious, my eyes red, yelling at him, you bastard. You dare! But before I could finish, Victor Young rolled up the window, driving off in his luxury car, looking like he'd just won a battle. My mouth hung open, frozen, my lips trembling nonstop. A sense of helplessness engulfed me. I couldn't get a ride no matter how I tried. The cold, muddy water mixed with the wind, making me shiver. Just then, a luxury car stopped right in front of me. The first thing I saw was a pair of fair, slender legs. I looked up at the woman stepping out, stunned. Why are you here again? Serenity Bamboo's voice was languid. You know, your business doesn't need investigating. People reported to me naturally. I lowered my head with a bitter smile, looking this pathetic scene by her. How utterly embarrassing. But her next words made me unable to hold back tears. Come home. Those words no one had said to me in so long. So I wasn't someone nobody wanted, but I still forced back the mist in my eyes, clenching my teeth, refusing. No need. Serenity Bamboo froze, slightly puzzled, asking why. My gaze fell on her supercar. A sense of inferiority surged. I'm too dirty. Serenity Bamboo nodded. You are pretty dirty, but lucky for you, my car's just as dirty today. It needs a wash anyway. Seeing me still standing there unmoving, Serenity Bamboo rolled her eyes, suddenly stepping into the mud puddle beside her, even deliberately splashing a few times. Oh no, now I'm dirty too. What do we do? Seeing her deliberately feigning distress, a strange warmth rose in my heart, unexplainable, but oddly comforting. And so two muddy people climbed into Serenity Bamboo's Lamborghini. The faint scent of lilac in the car calmed my racing heart. The supercar stopped at the gate of the Sophie family's house. I turned to Serenity Bamboo in shock. Weren't we going to your place? Why are we here? Serenity Bamboo's lips curved slightly, carrying a mysterious smile. What if I told you? The villa I just bought is right across from the Sophie family's. I froze in place, instinctively asking why buy here on purpose. She looked toward the Sophie family's house. Because I don't want them to think you're a coward who ran away. I want you to return like a king. The father of my child, Serenity Bamboo, must stand at the pinnacle, not be the subject of others' mockery. Her words warmed my heart. I could feel clearly that she was protecting me. This feeling, for someone like me who's been battered by life since childhood, was almost too unreal. The villa was grand and luxurious, but I didn't bother admiring it. I rushed straight to the bathroom for a hot shower, changed into clean clothes. When I stepped out of the bathroom, I glanced at the living room table. A bowl of ginger soup, steaming hot. Serenity Bamboo tilted her chin at me, her eyes signaling drink it while it's hot. Grateful I didn't think twice. Picked up the bowl intending to drink it to warm up, but after one sip I spat it out. My God, why is this so sickly sweet? Serenity Bamboo, usually so composed, showed a hint of panic on her face. She cleared her throat. The chef must have slipped, added too much sugar. My sharp eye spotted a bandage on her finger. I immediately asked, "What's wrong with your hand?" "It was fine when we got back." Serenity Bamboo quickly hid her hand behind her, stammering, "It's nothing, just a little scratch." I frowned. The area around the bandage was red. Clearly a burn. Serenity Bamboo hurriedly changed the subject, turning to the butler nearby, instructing the kitchen to remake the ginger soup. And from now on, Mark Song is also a master of this house. His words are my words. The butler nodded respectfully, then smiled warmly at me. Before turning to leave, I was slightly stunned. Turning to Serenity Bamboo, "That's not quite right." Serenity Bamboo shook her head. "What's not right?" "Per the contract, I was supposed to give you a house. I'm just keeping my promise. But the task isn't done yet. The pregnancy hasn't even started. Taking a whole house like this doesn't feel right." Serenity Bamboo fell silent for a moment, then looked at me with her beautiful eyes. "I was going to tell you later, but it seems I should tell you now. I'm pregnant." I couldn't believe my ears. My whole body froze, staring at her. "What did you say? You're really pregnant?" Serenity Bamboo smiled and nodded yes. "It's been over 2 weeks." Hearing this news, I felt my blood surge. Amazing, truly amazing. I'm going to be a father. Serenity Bamboo saw my goofy expression, her beautiful face slightly flushed. The joy of becoming a mother for the first time radiated from her. I instinctively looked at her stomach, immediately nervous. "Are you hungry? It'll make something to eat." No, wait. You just got wet in the rain. You need to rest right away." Seeing me fussing like a spinning top, Serenity Bamboo's lips curved into a beautiful arc. "Don't be so nervous. The baby's still early. It's not that fragile. Relax." My hand still trembled slightly, but my gaze softened. "From today, you're staying here too, so I can take care of you. If you feel unwell, you have to tell me. Your health is the most important." Serenity Bamboo froze upon hearing this. Then her eyes sparkled with a smile. From your tone, you sound like an experienced father. I scratched my head awkwardly. I don't have experience, but I can learn. Having one more person to care for you adds an extra layer of assurance, right? Serenity Bamboo, who'd been hesitant, nodded after hearing this. Fine. I'll stay here with you. From that day on, my life became completely structured. No more staying up late. Afraid she'd suddenly feel unwell and I wouldn't be there. My daily routine was just reading books. That day, I went to the mall to buy books. Passing a shoe store, I paused, looking at the flat-soled shoes in the display. I thought of Serenity Bamboo's high heels. They were beautiful, sure, but now that she's pregnant, falling would be dangerous. With that, I walked into the store. But just as I paid and was about to leave, I nearly bumped into a girl behind me. I looked up to apologize, seeing a familiar face. I froze. It was Sophie. Mark Song. Sophie's gaze landed on the shoebox in my hand. In that moment, her eyes filled with emotion. Sophie huffed lightly. You still have some conscience. Finally coming to apologize to me. But you bought the wrong shoes. My feet are bigger now. I wear size 38. Her mouth complained, but her heart bloomed with joy. Mark Song must know he was wrong, and knows my birthday's coming, deliberately coming to make up for it. I suppressed the waves in my heart. Taking a deep breath, I didn't buy the wrong ones. These shoes aren't for you. Sophie froze upon hearing this, but quickly smiled. Fine, I get it. You're afraid I'd find out. The birthday gift you secretly prepared. Trying to trick me, right? It's okay, I'll pretend I don't know. On my birthday, I'll act surprised and play along with your plan. With that, Sophie plopped onto the sofa nearby. Alright, no need for the clerk to wrap them. I'll wear them now, but I'm still mad at you. You have to buy me another gift, and you have to put these shoes on me yourself. I couldn't quite grasp what she was thinking. Frowning, I spoke. I don't think I did anything wrong. That needs your forgiveness. And these shoes really aren't for you. With that, I didn't wait for her reaction. Turning to leave the store, seeing my resolute back, Sophie was completely stunned. The old Mark Song, whose eyes and heart were only for her, cherished her like she'd melt in his hands, but now he treated me like a stranger. On what grounds? Clearly, he was the one who betrayed our feelings. How could he be so indifferent? Thinking this, Sophie suddenly stood up, yelling at my back. Why do you treat me like a stranger? I turned around, looking coldly into her eyes. Didn't you say it yourself? When we meet again, we're strangers? Those words left Sophie speechless. Her mind went blank, watching me keep walking. Tears instantly streamed down. You idiot. You're a colossal idiot. I only said that in anger. How could you take it seriously? But no matter how heartbroken she cried, my back didn't pause. At that moment, the clerk hurried over. Miss, don't cry. Maybe Hayes preparing a surprise for you. Sophie froze. A surprise? The clerk nodded eagerly. Exactly. Picking a fight with you on purpose, then finding a way to make you happy. Isn't that a favorite trick of young guys? Hearing the clerk's words, Sophie instantly saw the light. Right. Mark Song was so good to me. How could he bear to leave me? I used to say he was a block of wood, not romantic. Looks like Hayes been secretly learning from me. Thinking this, Sophie's mood shifted from stormy to sunny. Her eyes filled with confidence again. HMPH. On my birthday, I'll make Mark Song remember well. The grievances of today. Can't just let it slide. Back at the villa, I caught Serenity Bamboo just waking up. Her hair a mess. I still slightly drowsy. Looking at me with some concern. Can you put work aside for now? Pushing yourself like this, your body won't hold up. Serenity Bamboo's lips curved slightly. What's this? Feeling sorry for me. I've told you several times. The baby's still early. It's Fine. I just want to finish work soon, so I'm not caught off guard later. I sighed, pulling out the shoebox from behind for you. Serenity Bamboo raised an eyebrow, trying to bribe me. Spill it. What do you need help with? I replied helplessly. Is that what you think of me? I just wanted to make you happy. No ulterior motives. I saw you always wear high heels, bad for your health, and dangerous, so I got these flat shoes. Serenity Bamboo froze upon hearing this, then frowned, pushing the box back. I don't wear these kinds of shoes. I only wear custom-made ones. Her words left me awkward. So you think the style's not nice? Or you really only wear custom shoes? Serenity Bamboo thought for a moment, then stared at me. I only wear custom-made shoes, and each pair of my custom shoes is expensive. Hearing her say that, I felt relieved. No problem, I'll work hard to earn money to buy you the best shoes in the world. If you don't like these, I'll go exchange them now. As I turned to head back to the mall, Serenity Bamboo suddenly pulled me back. I'll take your gift. I don't care about expensive or cheap. They're not as pricey as my shoes anyway. She looked at the shoes, a warm current rising in her heart. This man said he'd work hard for me. Is that true? When I went upstairs, the butler saw the shoes in Serenity Bamboo's hands. His jaw nearly dropped. Young miss, you're going to wear flat shoes. Didn't you hate these the most? It turns out, when Serenity Bamboo was 12, she came home, her temperament drastically changed, crying and swearing never to wear flat shoes again. The butler, though unclear why, threw out all the flat shoes in the house. From then on, the house only had sneakers and high heels. This habit persisted until now. At this moment, Serenity Bamboo toyed with the shoes. Her gaze distant. People always change. I'm no longer that stubborn little girl. The next morning, I got up early to exercise. As I reached the villa's gate, a flashy supercar sped up. The door opened. A man and woman stepped out. When I saw the woman's face clearly, Sophie and I locked eyes, both of us stunned, neither expecting to meet here. Victor, young beside her, provocatively stepped to Sophie's side, wrapping an arm around her shoulder. What are you doing here? Looking for Sophie. Too bad we're busy. If you don't mind being a third wheel, pretend I didn't say anything. With that, Victor Yang deliberately acted coy with Sophie. I am a bit sore. Massage me later, okay? Sophie initially resisted Victor Yang's embrace, but recalling how I ignored her at the mall yesterday, she gritted her teeth, playing along. Sure, I'll massage you later. Seeing their intimacy, my heart stung briefly, but the feeling passed quickly. Sorry, I'm not here for Sophie. Victor Yang burst out laughing. Not for Sophie, then for me. Sorry, buddy. I'm not free. Get lost. I couldn't be bothered with him, pointing to the villa behind me. I live here, any problem? Victor Yang froze on the spot. Live here? Are you kidding? You could barely afford a bathroom here. Do you know how much one of these villas costs? I gave him a disdainful glance. I don't need to argue with you. Go check for yourself, you'll see. Seeing my confident demeanor, Victor Yang panicked slightly. This doesn't look like a bluff. How could he have imagined a stand-in in his eyes was living better than him? He immediately flew into a rage, pointing at me. Where do you get the money? I'm warning you, don't do anything shady. I'll be watching you. I looked at him like he was an idiot. Relax, my money's cleaner than yours. Just then, a languid female voice came from behind. Looks like I'm late. Missed some good drama, huh? Sophie saw Serenity Bamboo step out of the villa, shocked to the point of goosebumps. Isn't this Serenity Bamboo from the Bamboo family? The ruthless, decisive top female billionaire with sharp tactics. The Sophie family isn't even fit to carry her shoes. But when Sophie's gaze fell to Serenity Bamboo's feet, she was utterly stunned. Aren't those the shoes I saw yesterday? So he wasn't lying to me. Those shoes really weren't for me. Sophie's face turned pale, her whole body trembling uncontrollably. You two are living together? Serenity Bamboo nodded lightly. Yes. Any problem? Hearing Serenity Bamboo confirm it herself, Sophie completely broke down. So you latched onto a richer billionaire, and that's why you don't want me, right? Victor Yang beside her gritted his teeth in anger, his heart full of jealousy. Why wasn't he the one with Serenity Bamboo? If he could latch onto the Bamboo family, wouldn't his acting career soar? Maybe he'd even win a Best Actor award. Seeing their expressions, I knew they'd misunderstood, but I couldn't be bothered to explain. Just turned to Serenity Bamboo. I'm going to buy some fruit. I'll be back soon. Serenity Bamboo immediately flashed a sweet smile. Okay, I'll wait for you. Seeing my back as I left, Sophie couldn't hold back anymore. Without thinking, she rushed forward. Victor Yang was startled. wanted to stop Sophie but couldn't. But spotting Serenity Bamboo in the yard, he instantly hatched a plan. Abandoning the chase, he turned to Serenity Bamboo, smiling obsequiously. Who would thought the illustrious young lady of the Bamboo family would take a liking to a nobody like Mark Song? Serenity Bamboo frowned. You're mistaken. His achievements in his field surpass yours by far. If I recall correctly, your online fan base isn't even close to his. Those words were like rubbing salt, grinding hard into Victor Yang's wounds. He indeed dreamed of fame, but remained perpetually lukewarm. If not for clinging to the Sophie family, he'd be at best a bit part actor. Victor Yang's face turned green with rage, but he forced himself to stay calm. I just haven't had my break. Just lacking a chance. Not as lucky as Mark Song, with a big shot like you backing him. Serenity Bamboo shook her head, her eyes tinged with pity. You're wrong. What he has today is all his own doing. My little help means nothing. Seeing Serenity Bamboo defend me so fiercely, Victor Yang's jealousy erupted. He's still entangled with his ex-wife. My girlfriend, that is. Clearly a womanizing conman. He just wants to leech off women. To climb the ladder, Serenity Bamboo's once indifferent gaze suddenly turned icy sharp, like a blade piercing Victor Yang, making him swallow his remaining words. What you're describing, isn't that just you? Compared to Mark Song, you're not even worth an ant. Serenity Bamboo slowly stepped closer. Her overwhelming aura is suffocating. Listen, I don't have many principles. I only believe in an eye for an eye. If you dare say one more bad word about Mark Song, it'll make you disappear.